to listen to the Lap Traffic Podcast.
What is up, Lap Traffic Nation? Welcome to episode 267 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. I am your host, the Professor Brandon Crowd. Great to be back after a couple weeks here. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I mean, how could you not with the football games that we had as we get closer to the 2022 NASCAR season? Get into that in a minute. Tonight's show kind of become a staple in January for the show over the last few years, and that is the Lapped Traffic Podcast fantasy rules and all that good stuff for tonight, as well as the last couple years have had the previous year's champ on the show, and same holds true tonight. So pretty excited tonight as you've loaded the show and have seen it'll be a little bit on the shorter side as we get the rules out there and dedicate tonight's show to the Lap Traffic Fantasy League, the 6th year of the show, the 6th year of the league. And I know it's cliche to say, oh, this is going to be the best year for the show or for the fantasy league, but here I actually truly do believe that this year is going to be the best year, and this year will set the tone going forward because of the Larson rule. Over the last couple of years, made some finesse changes as far as player or driver picks and all that, and I really think with the players' input and all that, I really think it is going to be perfectly finessed this year, which I'm very excited about. So we'll get to all that in a minute. I have to talk about this weekend's football games. 3 out of 4 games decided by a field goal. Cincinnati beats Tennessee, but Tennessee was in this thing, even throwing 3 picks late into the game in the 4th. San Francisco goes into Lambeau. Snow, you dial up like perfect outdoor football playoff weather. That's what we had in Lambeau Saturday night. And San Francisco goes in there and gets the job done. You got Kansas City for the win in overtime. A lot of flack and heat out there regarding the overtime rules. And, it took college football a minute, in my opinion, to get the overtime right. And, I really think they might look at mirroring college football's overtime rule. I think they got it. And if you notice, I skipped one there, and that was the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if anybody's followed the show for a long time, from Detroit, Lions fan, if you will, got Lions season tickets. But if you really listen and you really know the professor here, I am a diehard Tom Brady fan. So I was fully invested into this game. You got Matt Stafford, 13 years in Detroit, no playoff wins. And then he goes to the Rams, first year, playoff win last year. But then you've got Tom Brady, my second man crush. And, I have to, I'm going to be real with you, Lap Traffic Nation. And that is Friday and Saturday were not good days for me from the sports betting side of things. So I thought I was going to be able to go to the well. Good old reliable old Tom Brady, Mr. I can come back being down 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and it's Matt Stafford. Like, okay, you got your playoff win. I kind of thought personally that, I know they were riding high, and I'm like, man, I great, awesome, but I really thought the Bucs at home were gonna, reel that in and put a kibosh to the rhythm and the momentum train that the Rams were carrying, and they made it close. And no spreads, nothing. I just tried to double up, no brainer. Took the money line on the Bucs. Thought I'd be good to go. Couldn't happen. Tom couldn't get it done for me one more time. But hey. Now we've got the potential to possibly have Patrick Mahomes and Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl. That's the one I'm rooting for right now, and I think that would be pretty cool. So We got some football to tide us over until, we are less than 2 weeks away from the clash at the Coliseum. We're going to have qualifying, heat races, the main clash. You guys, again, if you've listened to the show, you guys know I am not a fan of exhibition anything. But, I mean, this one is going to be worth watching. It's going to be worth to see, what it looks like. And, I'm going to dial in. I'll be honest. There are some clashes I don't watch. There are some all-star races I don't watch. But this one, I will be watching. That is for sure. So, I mean, kudos to NASCAR for drawing and getting the attention from people out there, because they're advertising, they're playing it during football commercials, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this draws and does well for NASCAR. So that's what we got to look forward to. Can't wait to talk some racing and all that kind of stuff. If you missed it, a couple weeks ago, had a great time with Shurin from the PETM podcast. And I know he'll make some appearances this year. I'll be back on the regular, hopefully each week. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, it gets interesting because Lindsay's due date is Valentine's Day, 1 week before Daytona. So depending when the little guy decides to join us in this world, that might impact a week or two, but definitely plan on being back as full-time as possible. I've got the full blessings from the wife to do this, and she knows what this means. And, hey, I got to keep doing it so Alden's got something to listen to down the road, right? So I'll be here, but it might be a little sporadic right at the start of the season, but fear not, fantasy will get updated, all that good stuff. So now, tonight's show, I'm actually recording it on Monday, posting it on Tuesday as usual, and actually a little early. But today, Tuesday, would have been my grandpa's 91st birthday. And if you recall, he passed away in November. So the family's getting together for dinner tonight, Tuesday, whenever you listen to this. So we'll be cheersing Grandpa tonight. So looking forward to that. And next week I plan on coming back. Going to talk some silly season changes, reset where we are from a lineup perspective, some things that occurred during the offseason. Might try to get someone on with me for that, and we'll see what happens there. And yeah, so looking forward. Again, it's exciting. Season 6. I'm rambling on here 7 minutes here. Tonight, though, like I said at the start, I'm excited to announce the rules changes for the 6th annual Lap Traffic Fantasy Year. If you've received an email from me this morning, you're in. I got you. If not, stay tuned for how to register. Still got room for anybody that wants to come in and play in this free competitive league for Lap Traffic swag, custom trophies. This year's trophy, they're all personalized. Your name, the year, all that, Lap Traffic logo. This year's trophies were 18 inches. They were the biggest and coolest so far, if I do say so. But before I get last year's winner on and all that kind of stuff, some shameless plugs. Make sure you check out the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com. The guest is usually posted there before I even get out on Twitter. So, make sure you check the website Monday, Tuesday to see who's going to be on the show. There's Facebook, The Lap Traffic Podcast. I've made a couple TikTok videos. We'll see if that gets any traction. And, of course, on Twitter, at Lap Traffic PC. Less than 300 followers away from giving away that Chase Elliott 124 diecast race win from Phoenix, as well as some Kevin Harvick sheet metal. So as soon as we hit 300 more followers, just looking to get to 6,000. So thank you, everybody, for all the retweets and all that. Keep it up and all that good stuff. And, the show pretty much going to have the same format as for the most part. Might kind of mix in the race talk from an overall perspective to maybe keep that a little less stale. I think it got a little stale last year. That's my opinion. So we'll try to just kind of mix that up a little bit differently. But of course, Lucky Dog segment will be back and all that good stuff. Your feedback, your takes, what you've come to love from the Lap Traffic Podcast over these last 5 years and 266 episodes. So with that said, let's get last year's co-winner, Joshua Neal, on the line and talk about some Lap Traffic Fantasy. All right, but before we get to the rules, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line, he is your co-champ from 2021. It's Joshua Neal. Josh, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing great. What about you?
Oh, man, just getting ready for the season to kick off. I'm excited for fantasy, excited for some racing. We got a new car. We've got new tracks. I mean, 2022 is already shaping to be up pretty good. So how was your holiday?
It was great. Spent some time with some family and friends. Couldn't ask for much more. What about yourself?
Just chilled. Did some, family, friends gatherings, all that good stuff, and just getting ready for the baby to make his way here over the next couple weeks or so. So it's we're full baby mode right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, man. So are you ready to defend the crown, as it's called?
I am. I'm kind of excited to see the new rules this year. I know last year I think people got a little too cute going away from Larson, Cindric, and Nemechek. So I rode them three to the championship. I'm interested to see what you've got for us this year.
I teased it a little bit at the start of the show. I got a couple changes. I really think is this your first year playing in the league this last year?
Yeah. So my friend David told me to join last year. I almost didn't join, but I was like, you know what the heck, because I'm a big DFS player.
Okay.
And I was like, well, if I'm already researching DFS, I can just go ahead and play this. So it really worked out really well for me.
Fair enough. I love that. Yeah, I dabble in that myself, so I'm with you there. So for me, last year was the 5th year. This year's the 6th. The last few years, there've really been some upgrades, and I think this year the few minor tweaks are really going to make it even better and more competitive. The Larson rule, if you will, we don't have to worry about that this year, so we won't have half the league taking Larson every single race. So hopefully we see a little bit more competitiveness and maybe some lead changes and things like that, which I'm pretty excited about. Josh, here's the big challenge for you. There has not been a back-to-back winner in the Lap Traffic Fantasy League. So you've got the chance to not only win your debut year, but you can be the first to go back to back. So that's I'd be very excited to see that happen.
Hey, if I can get one of those trophies again, by the way, amazing job with the Gibbs. And that's another great thing about the league that I noticed. I mean, you went all out, and I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you. Hey, it's fun. I love being able to do it, and there have been times where I've thought about, maybe even, we got over 100 players, even just charging, like $5 or something just to keep the interest. But, it's a free show. It's a free fantasy league. So the cash prizes aren't that big. But at this point, man, everybody that's been playing wants to get one of these trophies. So I think that's kind of taken its own shape as something that people want to go and get, or trophy hunting, as Colleague Racing would call it.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Thank you. I love it, man. Thank you. All right, let's see here. From last year's perspective, first time in the league, you were able to do some research for your own interest and make that. But what did you like about the league last year? What didn't you like about it?
Well, let's see. For trucks, I kind of enjoyed being able to pick, the same driver. It was either Nemechek or Cindric for most weeks. And, trucks is so, crazy with all the young talent, the old talent, all the chaos that happened. And I think, being able to pick your own driver and in trucks every week was nice. Xfinity and Cup, Kyle Larson, that's the only kind of, thing that I didn't like. But, you couldn't control that because the rules are the rules. And I don't think anybody's seen him winning that many races. So,
right.
From that instance, I didn't really have any complaints, to be honest with you. I enjoyed it,
Cool.
I really can't give you many complaints.
All right. Well, I love to hear that. All right. Well, man, what do you say? Should we get into the rules for the 2022 league?
Do it.
All right. Lapped Traffic Fantasy Players. If you want to play in the 6th annual Lap Traffic fantasy, all you have to do is send an email to fantasylaptraffic@gmail.com. If you've played last year and you let me know you wanted to play this year, you're already registered, so only new players need to register. Send an email with your name and your Twitter handle if you got one, because if you score well, you pick the winners, all that good stuff, you get tagged in some stuff on social media. All of the picks, though, have to be submitted via email to the same email address, fantasylaptraffic@gmail.com. No new changes there. When you submit your picks, please make sure to include your full name and your Twitter if you have one in the body of the email. And all picks for upcoming race weekends are due Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, with exceptions being midweek races. But as Josh can probably attest, I send out a ton of emails that people probably get sick of. So reminders, all that good stuff, because I want as many people to get their picks in as possible. So there's a couple reminder emails. You also get some emails with some insight on the show, guests, all that good stuff. So it's worth signing up and playing for sure. So here's some changes. If all three races are running, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck, you're going to pick one driver from each series. Nothing new there. Nothing new from the Cup side of things. If your driver made the Cup playoffs in 2021, you're only able to select that driver for one Cup race per segment. So, Kyle Busch, you can't pick him in the Truck Series. There was some confusion with that last year, but if the Cup driver made the 2021 playoffs, they are only eligible for Cup and once per segment. So, if you pick Joey Logano for the Daytona 500, you won't be able to select him again until Kansas, May 15th, which is the start of segment 2. So, that's pretty straightforward over the last couple years there. No changes there. But Josh, here's one change, man. The Xfinity Series. So I was going back and forth on this. Like, how can I limit the Xfinity Series drivers when, some are changing, some moved up, some aren't racing, and what have you. So here's what I did based on some input and kind of tweak some things a little bit. I did it based on 2021 owners' points. So if a car is still fielded in 2022 based on the 2021 owners' points, you are limited to 2 picks per segment for that driver. So, for example, Justin Allgaier can only pick him twice per segment. AJ Allmendinger twice per segment. Noah Gragson twice per segment. So that is a pretty significant rule change there. Josh, what do you think about that one?
I really like it. I think that should definitely even things out a little bit.
Absolutely.
I really do like that.
Awesome. Cool. I'm glad for that. The Truck Series, that is open. All drivers, multiple picks, no limit on the number of times you can select the driver. So that stays the same. I just thought we were going to get too thin if I limited the picks there. So Truck Series is going to remain fair game for as many drivers as you want and all that good stuff. So what do you think? Overall, pretty good there, sir?
Definitely. Like you said, Trucks is so volatile, and, you don't want to be picking Norm Benning and Jennifer Jo Cobb by the end of it. So,
right. No offense to them, of course, but
yeah, no offense.
But I feel you. Please, everybody, just a reminder, keep track of your picks or go back to the website on the fantasy page there. The drivers that you've picked, I keep track for you and change them over to red once you've picked them. So with the new baby on the way, if someone sent a duplicate pick in and I was logging the picks before the weekend, I'd be able to send you an email so you could resend in a new pick. But with who knows what my schedule is going to be like, I might be logging picks during the races for all I know. So, make sure you're checking the website so that you don't get a 0 for any particular race in Cup or the Xfinity Series. But again, I will try to get the picks posted on the website so everybody knows what everybody took at least before the Cup race starts. So that's it worked out well last year. So to some bonus points here are some changes. Last year, if you picked the Cup winner, you got a bonus point. This year, any race winner picked is going to get you a playoff bonus point that will carry over for you if you make the playoffs. So, Josh, that's a new change. What do you think about that one?
I really like it. I was wondering last year because I was unsure if I picked the Cup. I picked the Xfinity and Truck winner, but I didn't see any bonus points. So I really like that, James.
I like that. I think that'll be good. And then again with last year, each weekly high winner will also earn a playoff point that will carry over. And if there are multiple players with multiple ties for week high, then each player will earn a bonus point. Bonus points. Winners of segment 1 and 2 will each earn 5 bonus points that will carry over to the playoffs as well. And if you win segment 1 or segment 2, but fall out of the top 16 cumulative points, you've got an automatic playoff spot, and that actually ended up being the case last year. So you get your automatic bid for the playoffs if you win either segment 1 or 2. The segments, segment 1, 13 cup races, Daytona to Kansas, plus all the Xfinity and truck races. Segment 2, 13 cup races as well, Charlotte to Daytona, plus all of the Xfinity and truck races. This year, rule change, no bonus pick for the All-Star race. I got rid of that. Didn't seem to be making too much of a difference as far as standings and all that were concerned. So I gave myself a break of not having a log picks for that. So that's a change there. Nothing too significant. And then the rest of it all stays the same. Top 16 players cumulative will get reseeded for the playoffs for a segment 3 10-race shootout there. So overall, Josh, you looking forward to it?
Definitely. I really do like what you've done with the Xfinity series. I think that will definitely help some people out.
Excellent. I'm excited about it. I made the playoffs for the first time last year. Now my goal is not to get knocked out in round 1. Prizes are the same. We're going to get some trophies. Segments 1 and 2, playoff winners, all that good stuff. Gift cards, lap traffic swag is all in the mix. Pretty excited about it. Again, if you want to play, send an email, fantasylaptraffic@gmail.com. I'm going to send the rules out tomorrow morning to everybody that is already registered in the league, which I think we're right around 94, 95 players, which is awesome. And I will have these rules also posted on the website for everyone. So there is that. Josh, man, what do you think some early headlines are going to be from Daytona, the new car? What do you think we're going to be talking about first couple weeks of the season?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I'm really hoping we see another first-time winner in the 500. I really liked what McDowell did last year. That had everybody buzzing. Also, just I think the uncertainty. I think with the limited amount of cars, I'm kind of interested to see, what teams push the issue at Daytona, that sort of thing. But, man, it's just exciting. I don't think there's been this much buzz in the sport in years. So I think it's really healthy for us. And, I'm very excited to see practice and qualifying because playing daily fantasy, that stuff has helped me so much in the past. The last couple of years, I've not been able to take advantage of that. It's been kind of, the wild, wild west per se. But, I'm just really excited. And also Xfinity, that championship's going to be really fun to watch. I'm not sure what to expect in trucks, but definitely excited for Cup and Xfinity.
I'm with you there, 100%. All right, so you want to see a first-time winner at Daytona. Who would be your pick for a first-time winner at the 500?
Man, why not Austin Cindric?
Hey, all right. Why, right? Hey, did it in the Xfinity Series. Why not do it in the Cup Series? I too wouldn't mind seeing a first-time winner. I think that's very cool. It just can help catapult somebody's career. He's a big fan of the show. I've loved watching his career. I would love to see Tyler Riddick go get a win. I think he's going to get his first win at a plate race. He just seems to have that dialed in, and I think with a couple races now and a season under his belt, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tyler Reddick in victory lane in 2022. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Josh, you mentioned the daily fantasy. How hard is, obviously Daytona, Talladega, crapshoots, but for you, the first few races here, what's the strategy with a new car and, not being able to rely on the notebook as much there for that?
Well, taking out of account Daytona, obviously it's crazy in of itself. I think a lot has to do with, diving in. I know practice is going to be limited this year, not a lot of time, but you're really going to have to put your stock into that practice. And also, I think, with some crew chief shakeups here and there with the new teams, I think a lot of it has to do with driver talent. I think you got to be able to be a good judge of that, especially with this new car, needing a better wheelman behind the wheel. It's a great question. I'm kind of interested myself because I'm sure it's going to be growing pains for all of us in the DFS industry. But, you got to look at history, obviously. But I think you got to be able to judge who the wheelmen are in the sport. So we'll definitely see. It's going to be interesting. So really don't know what to expect, but I'm just glad we got practice.
I'm with you. Practice. We talking about practice. Any races you gonna make it to any this year, man?
So I grew up like 30 minutes from Bristol. I haven't been able to go the last couple of years. I'm definitely going to make it to the dirt race, I think. And then I'm going to try to go to Martinsville. That's on my bucket list. So if we can knock those two out this year, I'll be happy.
That's awesome. I love it, man. All right. Where can everybody follow you on social media?
At Burnout Avenue on Twitter. So I'm going to step up my DFS game. I'm going to give out some tips and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, be sure to follow me on there.
Feel free to tag me. I'll retweet them out and get them out as well for you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Great to talk to you. What do you say? You want to come back in a couple weeks and kick things off and make picks for Daytona?
You tell me when, I'll be here.
All right, man. I'll get a hold of you. Sounds good. Thanks for calling in, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll see you. All right, Lap Traffic Nation. Well, I forgot one of the most important rules that hasn't changed, and that is the weekly high winner gets to call into the show and make picks for the upcoming week. That's always been a fun thing to do. So looking forward to being able to keep that going as well. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, there you have it. That was a quick one tonight. That is going to do it for episode 267 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. Go sign up for some fantasy. It's a great time. I'll be back next week with some silly season and see what else we can throw in the mix. Make sure you go follow on Twitter at LapTrafficPC. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Make sure you tune in each and every week to the Lap Traffic Podcast. See ya.